So, hello, I'm Alex from Volocopter. My talk is not a big talk because I will not talk a lot, because I want to show you what is about flying taxis. It's not only a vision, it's reality since some years. So I want to provide nothing happens, sorry. So, in 2011, we made the first all-electric vertical takeoff and landing flight with an aircraft. This looks really scary. It's a flying yoga ball thing that was but only a proof of concept to lift a person with this technique of a drone. So we chose only the yoga ball as a solution what was light, and we'd have no stress to develop any landing gear. So it was a pragmatic solution, but this solution brought us to a viral storm. So after the flight, we had in 1 week 1 million clicks on YouTube. Now we have on the first flight we more than 35 million clicks. Now that was 5 years later. We worked from that first point from 2011 to 2016 hard for a really aircraft with this technology. And what you see now is the first flight with a certified flying taxi. So in 2016, we made the next manned flight because we waited to get a certification. And this 6 year, we worked hard to develop not only the aircraft, also to get a certification or something like that. So we worked hard together with the authorities in Germany to get a license to fly all around in Germany. And so what you see there, I'm flying only with one hand with a joystick. So my skills as a pilot were just only, I have to listen 2 minutes somebody to explain me how to fly this aircraft, because it's really intuitive, really easy flying. We'll let later also other people fly this aircraft also from outside with the same joystick. So my mother, she's 80 years old. She also fly this aircraft from outside with the same joystick, take off, make a short flight with the aircraft and land it from outside. So it's really totally easy. If you let off the hands on the joystick, it stays stable in the air. So this is existing technology from the drone sector, but to implement this in a safe way in an aircraft for personal transportation, it's a really big thing. So after this flight, it was serious that there is a possibility to have a flying taxi with a certification. So in the 5 years before, we were a little bit fancy. Everybody are saying, oh, flying taxi, we don't know if this is coming. After this milestone, I think half a year later, it turned up to mainstream in the world that flying taxis are coming. So meanwhile, there are more than 100 companies in the world who are working on flying taxi. Also, so brands like Rolls-Royce or Aston Martin working on that. And this is really amazing to see that this is coming and it's real. So what you see now, that was 2017. We have a project in Dubai to bring flying taxis to Dubai. In 2017, the task was to have a regulation to fly in urban space with a fully autonomous air taxi. So the task was that nobody sits in, but the aircraft has to fly fully autonomous. So what you see is also there was a big event after a long time of testings where the Crown Prince of Dubai pushed the button and the aircraft took off, make a 9-minute flight, fully autonomous, and landed again. Before we made that flight, for sure, we had to make a lot of testing. You see here outside in the desert for 3 months, having in 60-degree, sandy conditions, hot conditions, a lot of tests to make this. But also we worked hard with several authorities of Dubai to get a really approval for this flight. And that was the beginning of the project in Dubai, that we want to bring this aircraft to Dubai. So in this project now, we are working with the authorities how we can integrate a system of flying taxis into the system of mobility of a city. So it's also about connection these things together. And the next milestone after we flew that fully autonomous flight was, okay, now we have to set in a passenger in a Volocopter. For that, there's no regulation existing in this moment, because you need a commercial certification for flying passengers, and also to fly them autonomous or with a pilot from outside. There is also no regulation at this moment. So we made this flight inside a fair hall in Munich, and the passenger was Intel's CEO, Brian Krisanich. He wanted to be the first passenger in an air taxi, and so we flew him inside this hall. And after the flight, he says, that was the best flight I ever had. And he's also pilot of acrobatic airplanes, small airplanes, so he knows all about flying. And it was for us a big honor that a CEO of a world brand like Intel takes into this aircraft as a passenger. Originally, he wanted to fly in Las Vegas in his keynote speech 2 months later at the CES, for the opening of the CES 2018 this year. So he wanted to fly on stage, manned, and so we say, no, we don't do that, it's too risky, let us do this before here in Germany, and then we go bring the aircraft to the show and fly on stage. And we flew this aircraft on stage inside a theater, more than 6,000 people, and we had only space of 1 meter on the left side and on the right side of the wingtips to the walls. That was really a hard work for the technical to make this flight safe there. So the next thing is, now we are jumping into the future. So I'm sorry that the screens are so small, because in this video, this is a normal speed of air taxi we want to provide in the future. So it's about 70 kilometers per hour. So, and you have aircrafts coming against you that they can every 30 seconds has a takeoff and landing of an aircraft in a Volocopter hub. So, and there are 8 routes. There you see very small Volocopter flying through the city. So we want to see how it looks like in the future when a lot of these aircrafts are flying in the city. And in this movie, you see as many aircrafts than 10,000 people can fly there in 1 hour through the city. And this is very small. You just see the small Volocopters on the crossing routes. This is because it's really the screens are not so big. So, because everybody has in mind the movie, The Fifth Element, and the sky is full of flying taxis, and that makes fears. And so you see the aircraft are so small that you just don't see them in the air, and also you don't hear them on ground, because the Volocopter are so silent that you don't hear them on the ground and the floor in the city, because also of the noise in the city. So this is really important that the people will accept this in their cities. But how could it work that every 30 seconds an aircraft can land in and you can take off and embark and debark and all these things? So here you see our concept of infrastructure. We want to put on skyscrapers and buildings. So the Volocopter lands in, is transported into the building. In the building is a floating system. The speed of the floating system is dramatically slowed down, so you can disembark in a safe surrounding, no rain, no wind. Then the Volocopter floated to the next station. There's no person. Batteries will be swapped automatically, and the aircraft has now a completely new, down-cooled, perfect batteried aircraft for the next flight. But It can also, at this point, it can also be put down in the next floor for parking or in the next floor for maintenance of the aircraft, and this would be also fully autonomous in the future. So if you don't want to park the aircraft, it's a possibility also to move it forward to the next point where you can jump into the aircraft, and it will bring you out of this infrastructure. So in this hub, every 30 seconds, one Volocopter can fly in and out in this version. So, but also, it's not only to having hubs with all the battery change and maintenance. It's all about we think we will have a lot of ports. For example, at an infrastructure like a tram station or an office tower has his own port for catching up the people. So there will be a lot of easy infrastructure, like also on the rooftop, so where you don't have to change the batteries, for example. It's only to pick you up and bring you there, so it's a little bit about on-demand flying and also on fixed routes with these big hubs like train stations. So the next question is how it feels for the person who fly with that. So you see it's for the people living in the city, it's not so bad, because it's small and silent. It works, the system, and now, but what is the thing? It's not only having a transport system where you are saving time, it's also the experience to fly over a city. You will enjoy that. That will be really a fun and emotional feeling. So, and I fly different things like a gyrocopter as a pilot. I'm a teacher of paragliding, so being in the air, it's really, really amazing. And I'm sure the people will also sometimes choose a Volocopter, not because it's time-saving, also they want to enjoy to see their city from above. So this is the future, and this is for me also the reality of every day, because we are flying just every day. So don't start again. We're flying every day at our headquarters in Brüssel and Karlsruhe in Germany, and so for us, flying taxi is reality since several years. So I'm fine. So and it starts again. So thank you.